everyone, it's Jennifer, and today I'm going to be doing my August wrap-up and September TBR. In the month of August, I've read 5 books and started a 6th one, but I still haven't finished it yet. Anyways, jumping right on into it, the first book that I read this month was Please Ignore Vera Dietz by A.S. King. This is about Vera Dietz, who is going through some trouble in her life. Her best friend, who is also the boy that she loved, died under dark circumstances, and it's up to her if she wants to reveal what really happened or not, but she's hesitant because he betrayed her before he died. I thought this book was okay. I had a few problems with it, mostly in the main character, Vera. I just thought she just needed to stick up for herself. I gravitate more towards books that have male protagonists, and I think it's only because they stick up for themselves more. Girls, at least in the books that I've read, like, they just take everything and they don't stick up for themselves, and that's definitely the kind of person that Vera was. She just let people do all of these horrible things to her, and she never did anything back, and I just wanted her to just stick up for herself, which she kind of did, but she didn't really do that much. I did like the story. It's told in kind of a dual point of view. It's mostly Vera, but then there's some snippets of Charlie, who is the boy that she loved and died. Snippets made me really sad. Like, I think his made me more emotionally invested in the story than hers, because it's just, he kind of answered a lot of questions that you had, and I liked his character partly because he did do some like pretty messed up things, but I liked his snippets. Didn't really like the ending. I think I wrote that. Yeah, the ending left me with some questions. Overall, I really thought it was okay. I gave this a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Next, I picked up The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. This is a classic. It's kind of a coming-of-age story about a boy whose name I do not remember. Holden. Didn't enjoy this book at all. It's so small. I think it's like 200 pages, or around 200, and it took me days to read this when I could normally just sit down and read at least half of this in just one sitting. But it was so hard. The writing annoyed me so much. I hated how it was written. He repeated things so often. And he was just such a child. And his mind made me angry. The way he thought made me angry. He made the whole world just a horrible place for himself, and probably one of the worst people that I've ever read a book from. Towards the end, it started getting a little bit better because he got to be with his younger sister, who I liked because she broke him down. She made him feel things, and she's like one of the only people that he loves, and I love that. That was a great part. That was probably the best part. The only thing that saved this book for me was the ending, and like, he was kind of funny in some parts, but that's really it. I gave this book a 2 out of 5 stars. I would give it a 1 out of 5, but I don't know, I don't think I could give it that low, but still, I really didn't enjoy this book at all. Then, after that, that book kind of put me in a slump because of how much I really disliked it. And I had read, like, Please Ignore Vera Dietz was kind of sad. It was kind of depressing. Catcher in the Rye was completely depressing to me, so I wanted a cute book. So I picked up Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell, and I loved this book so much. I know why everyone loves Rainbow Rowell. I read this book in, I think, maybe 3 days or something. No, I read it in 2 apparently. Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell. That made me so sad that I just dropped this book. This is about Eleanor and Park. Eleanor is the weird girl that's come to town, and she has kind of a dark life. And Park has lived in that town his whole life. He's just kind of a quiet guy that reads comic books and listens to music. And they start up not very friendly at all. They kind of really don't like each other in the beginning. And then it's just about like 7th grade love. What am I talking about? I think they're sophomores. Why did I say 7th grade? Yeah, they're definitely sophomores. What was I thinking? Sophomore year. And I just think it's so cute because it's about a high school love that isn't just completely stupid in the way that high school love really is. This is like a meaningful high school love, which is kind of weird. I was in the hallway at my school, and this girl just walked past and she said, Eleanor and Park had the worst ending ever. And that always put me like, oh, what? I don't want to read it if it has a horrible ending. But then I found it on Book Outlet and I picked it up because it was super cheap, and I have no idea why she thought that was the worst ending ever. And I guess she isn't the only one, because a lot of people think that this has a bad ending, but I loved the ending. I'm fine with the way that it ended. I thought the ending was cute. I did get a little bit irritated towards the ending, but the actual ending was good. I thought it was a good ending. How many times did I just say ending? Maybe like 8. Overall, I loved this book. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. Sorry, I keep looking down. I write everything like in this notebook, like the day that I finished them and what my thoughts were and my rating. But I gave this a 5 out of 5 because it was just perfect. Then I picked up my TBR jar pick of the month of August, and that was Winger by Andrew Smith. I explained all of this in my TBR, I think, but I'm gonna do it again. This is by Brian Dean West. He's kind of a genius because he skipped a lot of grades. I think he's 14 and he's a junior in high school, and it's just about this one, his junior year in high school, and holy words, this book, it made me feel so many feels. I did get a little bit irritated with the main character, because he's 14, he's getting them hormones, and they're not controlled at all, and that's annoying when that's a lot about what he's talking about and thinking about. But the friendships in this book, the times that you go through, I love the humor in this as well. Weirdly, there's only one thing flagged in this book, but that's just because I kind of loved all of it. And I hate when people say this, but that ending, like the last maybe 40 pages, good lord. I cried in this book. It was amazing. I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars, even though his hormonal teenage stuff did annoy me. He was 14. The last book that I completed in August was Cinder by Marissa Meyer. To my surprise, and probably a lot of other people's surprises, I didn't enjoy this book that much. I hear just people raving and raving and raving about the Lunar Chronicles. I didn't think it was that great. I found it very predictable. The writing wasn't that amazing. And I found it predictable not just because it's a retelling, so you kind of already know, but one of the big things, like, towards the ending, I guessed it, like, from the beginning. The ending, I will say, left me very intrigued, so good job on that, but I wasn't immediately like, oh my gosh, I need to pick up the second book, I need to go buy the third book, anticipation for the fourth book. I'm so surprised, because this is a retelling of a fairy tale, and I absolutely love fairy tales. I mean, I thought it was cool, like the actual world and all the things that I didn't know about it, because the only thing that I knew was that Cinderella retelling, she's a cyborg. That's all I knew, so everything else was a complete surprise to me, and I loved it. I loved the concept of lunars and everything like that, but this just didn't blow me away, which is weird, but what can you do? And by the way, this is on a book outlet if none of you guys have it and want it, and so is Scarlet by Marissa Meyer, which is the second one. So, if you guys want it, go buy it. And I'm pretty sure Pleasing Hermaphrodites is on there too. With the week left in August, over a week left in August, no, it's probably a week. I picked up Mr. Penumbra's 24-Hour Bookstore by Robin Salone. It's been over a week, and I'm barely on page 58. School. Biggest explanation for this is just school. I don't like school because I don't read a lot during school. Exhibit A, because it's been over a week and I'm not done with this book, when I probably could have been done with it in like 2 days. Maybe less than 2 days had it been over summer. It's okay so far. I'm not even 60 pages into this, but it's kind of whatever. It's like, it's mysterious, but I'm just kind of bored. This is about a weird bookstore. It's about Clay, I think his name is. 60 pages into this, I don't even know the main character's name. And he takes a job up at a weird bookstore, and it's very weird, but that's literally all that I know about it so far. That's what I knew going into it, and that's still all that I know. So, make judgments for yourself. And now on the books that I want to read in September, the first one is, of course, Mr. Penumbra's 24-Hour Bookstore by Robin Salone, because I want to finish this super soon, because this is taking me ridiculously long to read, and it's just my fault because of school. I'm bumming myself out because I'm back in school. I don't have the dust jacket on. It's right here. The second book that I want to read in the month of August is Let the Great World Spin by Colin McCain. I absolutely love this cover. It's completely beautiful. This is probably one of the prettiest books that I own, and I've never seen anyone talk about it. And I'm not exactly sure what this is about. This is probably one of maybe 3 books that I've ever bought just because of the cover, and I'm happy with that, and I'm finally reading it. And so now, I'm going to choose from my TBR jar because, I don't know, I want to do that first. I don't want to do it last. I don't know why. I give myself 3 options. So, the first one is Unwind by Neil Shusterman, Alice in Wonderland, or Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, and My Name is Memory. Of those 3 books, I choose to read Unwind by Neil Shusterman. This is a dystopian book where, between the ages of 13 and 18, yep, your parents can choose, or not your parents, but your guardians can choose to unwind you, which is basically them taking you apart limb from limb, organ from organ, just dismantling you and giving your parts to someone else. And that's how they don't find it as, that's how they don't think it's death, because you're living through numerous amount of people. It's still very creepy, and I believe this follows a couple of people, maybe 3. I started this book a long time ago, and I put it down just because I wasn't in the mood for it. Yeah, and I had the second one. The third one's out, and the fourth one's coming out this year, I believe, or maybe next year. But I'm excited to read this one. I want to read Night by Eli Wiesel because it's super small. I've had it for so long, and his name is Eli Wiesel, not Ellie Weasel. It's Eli Wiesel. My sister read this in high school. She bought it for me because she absolutely loved it, and she said that I would love it. And I've had it for a really long time, and it's super small. It's like a little over 100 pages. So I'm really excited to read this. My camera's about to cut off, but I really want to read Scarlet too. This is the sequel to Cinder. Okay, bye guys. My camera's really about to cut off. Bye guys. Follow me and stuff down there. Okay, bye. I'll see you in my next video.